All right, guys, it's welcome time. We have a bunch of new libraries actually, so let me get those links. If you haven't yet, here is the notes we're working from, and here are all the beautiful catalogs I'm going to be introducing. So our new partners this month are Chattanooga in Tennessee, Cobley in Vermont, a member of the Vocal Consortium, Los Gatos in California, Metropolitan Library System in Oklahoma, Minuteman Library Network in Massachusetts, Mojave in Arizona, and Salinas in California. So welcome everybody. If you're here, you're live, yay. All right. Yes, everyone give them a round of applause. They implemented so well. Um, and yeah, we can move on, I guess, to Jordan now, but I will be keeping the welcome for everybody this whole time.
Definitely keep the welcome, Miranda, because we are welcoming a new Bywater employee who is working on Aspen. We have Kate. So Kate, go ahead and wave to everyone. So you can all see her. You will definitely be seeing her in support tickets. Kate is our new Aspen support and quality assurance analyst. So she will be working both on the support side and to help test all of these wonderful new features that you're seeing here. And I'm sure everyone pays very close attention to all of our titles, but that title formerly belonged to Miranda. So Miranda is moving on up to help us a little bit more on the development side. She's going to keep that quality assurance role and keep doing QA for us. And she's also going to be helping with a little bit on the Aspen product side. And what that means is she's going to be working with all of you a little bit more with me to make sure that the features that we're building work the way you want them to. You might see her a little bit more in some of our community meetings and maybe a little bit less in tickets, but I have a feeling, we're all in tickets and Miranda will still be in tickets for a while. So thank you so much. And I'll go ahead and just keep the mic since the next thing up there is the um, planning, priority, and review. So let me get that going. Okay, this is what we do every month to talk about what we planned for this month and what we got done, and give you a little sneak peek into what's happening next. Okay, so on the left is our plan for last time. With the user interface updates, consortium things, the Palace Project and Hoopla Flex, the community priority for graphic novels and separating those out from regular books. And then below the thing that's always on there, all the things that our partners are needing and asking for that we tend to prioritize. We got a ton done this release. I think you could see that from everything that Mark shared. And we felt like we were always working on the most important thing. It's just the most important thing that we were working on tended to shift because we had that long list of partners going live, as well as some very ILS specific things we needed to get done to make sure that we were supporting Aspen well for those partners. So what that meant is that the user interface updates and some of the consortium administration things, and the Palace Project and Hoopla Flex, we didn't finish those. We continued working on most of those things, and I know for sure Palace Project and Hoopla Flex are going to take a while. And we've been talking about that. So those didn't quite get finished, and I think that's fine because we got done the good stuff. What we didn't actually get to start was the ungrouping graphic novels from the regular books. That says postponed. It only says that because we didn't work on it this time. We're going to start it next time, as you'll see on the next slide. Like I said, we got lots of the partner stuff done if you look below that. And then two things that we got done that we hadn't specifically planned, but I wanted to call out because they were a little bit more of a bigger deal and a number of people were asking for them. One was that feature I just showed you with Lita, the ability to expand it or limit it based on that new search facet. And then along with some of the partner requested things for self-registration, as you saw, Mark took that as an opportunity just to start working on email templates because we know we're going to want a bunch more email templates and they're really simple to start. That tends to be how we do things. We kind of do it simple and then better and then better and then better over time. So we went ahead and got that email templating going. So I'm excited to see where that goes next. As for our plan for the next release, we still have those top three. What we really want to do is take the end of the year to wrap up as many loose ends as we can. So we're not going to be planning anything new for anything big and new for the end of the year. We want to make sure we don't leave too many things hanging. So more user interface updates, explicitly what'll be coming, some things we talked about last time. The the overdrive to Libby and Access 360 to Boundless. We've been working on that one, but we're not quite done and we want to test it. We're also going to throw in for the overdrive folks a differentiator between Libby and Sora. Um, and then also little things like the stars. We haven't gotten those stars just upgraded to the newer style. So again, still working on those things. Improvements for consortium administration, you'll see as well. Palettes Project and Hoopla Flex, again, we're working on new APIs with both of these vendors. I think we're going to be either, well, we know we're the first with Palace Project. Hoopla Flex has been working on new APIs and we've been emailing back and forth with them on it. Those I'm not sure for the Hoopla Flex will finish next month just because our work is dependent on their APIs and we're still testing their APIs. But we're working on it for Hoopla Flex and it'll just kind of depend on how long it takes us to work with Hoopla. Always, we have the high priority bugs and the partner priorities. And then coming from the last release, we do want to get that ungrouping graphic novels from regular books done. I know that's the #1 priority of the community group. So that's not going off. That's something we are planning on getting done this release. And then I put Lita performance enhancements on here. I will tell you the main ones that we're looking at. One is after you've signed in and you kind of have the Lita loading screen with the quotes that show up. What's happening in the background in Lita as you see those quotes is it's loading all of the languages for Lita. So depending on how many languages you have enabled for Lita, that can get a little bit slow. What we're doing instead is moving that language loading to when someone selects a different language. So they might have to have that little bit of wait time then, but we think that that's a little bit more understandable for the patron being like, hey, we're loading Lita in Spanish for you. So we're getting all those translations. And then of course it will remember it and they can just use it in Spanish and they only have to do that loading once. We're also going to look at for the shared app, seeing if we can improve the performance of finding your library the first time. We know that just depending on phone settings, that list of libraries is getting really long, which is making it a little bit slow. Not exactly sure how we're going to be able to do that, but we're going to look at it because we know that those are two of the pain points in Lita. Yeah, so that's our plan for the next month. We just want to kind of get everything nice, clean, and shiny for the end of the year, and then we'll have some big new things to work on next year. And I think next on the agenda, yep, is still the cookie consent and tracking questions. I was happy to see, actually, I'm going to go ahead before I just barrel through. I'm going to check and make sure we don't have any more. I don't think we have any more questions. Okay, good. Cookie consent and tracking questions. We are still chipping away at this work just a little bit, and we have some questions for the community. We can discuss it a little bit here, but I put this on the agenda for the community meeting because sometimes I like to kind of drop something here that we're gonna talk about or that I'd like to get feedback on. So you can all think about it and then come to the community meeting prepared to talk about it, maybe having talked to other folks at your library. So this is one of those things. It's on that agenda. Come and give your opinion. But these are the two questions that we have in finishing up that cookie consent work. So one of them is, how should cookie consent be handled when a library staff member is masquerading for a patron? So they're maybe masquerading for a patron that has either hasn't answered the cookie consent question yet, or maybe has said, I don't want to be tracked. How should that be handled? And the second one is, how should cookie consent be handled on the public workstations within the library? Like Mark said, if you've already accepted it and then you sign in, for now we're saying, okay, that person has consented, but obviously that might not be what we want on the OPAC computers. So again, we're still settling these questions. So know that we haven't completely settled these cases if you are thinking about turning that on now. And then if you have opinions on how this should work, please come to the Aspen community meeting. I'd like to open it up for questions on cookie consent right now, especially since I do want to call out Jacob from PTFS Europe. He did a lot of this work on cookie consent. PTFS Europe did most of the work on the cookie consent here. So if you have questions on it right now, we have the perfect people around to answer them. So any questions on cookie consent or things that you want to bring up? Awkward pauses. All right, I'll let it go for now, but if you have anything or think of anything, we have open time at the end, and we can always talk more about it there. And that's it for me for now.
All right, cool. Yeah, next on the list is actually Jacob from PTFS Europe to talk about the languages and display button if you're ready to go.
Yeah, hi. I'm Jacob. I work for PTFS. So I'm British, as you could probably tell. Um, so if I share my screen, it's a small development from one of my colleagues. He's unfortunately not around at the moment. But all it does basically is when you've got at the moment the current functionality is when you have more than one language or display enabled, then you get a button up here that will bring up a modal, or if you're logged in, it will take you to a My Preferences page. Basically, the plan is to add a toggle that will either keep this or hide this, as this is already shown in the hamburger menu, and at the moment it's double functionality. So as you can see here, this is with it enabled. Obviously, I'm logged in as administrator here, so I also have the start translation mode. But you can see I do in fact still have two languages here, but the button is now hidden, so it doesn't exist anymore. That's pretty much it. It was more to open up a dialogue to say that we're going to be adding a toggle for it, so that it's not going to be a forced upon you feature. It's an additional, if you want to enable it. And also, I guess to sort of introduce myself. So hi, that's me.
Yeah, welcome. This is for you as well, I guess, then.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. All right.
Actually, can I add?
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
the second bit of that enhancement is also putting, so if you've got multiple themes, it's putting the themes in that hamburger menu as well. So just to make that similar to the languages, right, Jacob? I think I read that pull request right.
Yeah.
Okay, so and that only happens then if you have like a light mode and a dark mode as well. So
All right. Cool. All right, who's next? Ooh, Lauren, it's you to talk about AspenCon.
Yes. AspenCon is coming to Denver, March 13th through 15th. You've probably heard us talking about it and heard some of your fellow Aspen users or seen some of your fellow Aspen users posting in the Slack about it as well. Our call for presentations is available. The deadline for that is actually November 10th, so we're about 8 days away from that. So if you have some ideas for presentations, please submit them. We've got our links on our AspenCon 2024 page, and I'll go ahead and post that link in the chat here. We have our planning committee. So if you feel like you would like to be a part of planning this, you can still sign up for that, and we'll get you added to our meetings. And we'll be setting up a registration form. We don't have registration quite ready yet, but we'll be setting that up soon, and we'll let you know when that's available. And if you want to keep your eye on that link that I posted for updates, you can do that. We have had over 50 responses to our poll for presentation preferences, so that's wonderful. Thank you all to everybody who participated in that. And those polls will close this weekend, just so we can thank you so much, Jordan. You can go ahead and do that. That poll will close this weekend, just since we already have plenty of responses here. As you can see, we've got plenty that are pretty high. So if you are thinking about doing a presentation, if you want to get some inspiration from this, we'll go ahead and we'll post that in Slack as well in a bit here, so you can see that. So yeah, we've got some future development. That's a pretty high one. Anything to do with web builder or local catalog enrichment, those are high. So anything you think is a good idea, you're always welcome to reach out and ask us, but you can just send in that presentation proposal as well. And this will be a hybrid event in that we will be broadcasting this online, but we are asking presenters to be in person unless you are doing a lightning talk. And then you are welcome to submit a virtual presentation proposal for that. And I think that's all I've got on that, but we'll keep giving you more information as we have it.
All right, thank you. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat. I'm sure Lauren will see them as well. So next up on the agenda is Tara to talk about the big Aspen community meeting.
We've got our Aspen community meeting coming up on November the 21st. The agenda is linked in the agenda for the community meeting is linked in the agenda for this meeting. And we've already got a couple topics. I'll go ahead and post that here if you want to add to that. It would be great to have you at that meeting. It is open to add any topics that you're interested in, and we've already got a couple, so we'd love to see you there. That's all I've got.
All right, thank you so much. As always, be there or be square. So it's going back, I think, to Jordan to talk about other community meetings.
Yeah, we have the big one that Tara just talked about, but then we also have smaller kind of special interest groups that meet fairly regularly. And I listed all of those below. We have one for most of the ILSs, as well as the cataloging and grouped works working group that talks about how we can better use data from our ILSs and all the places in Aspen, or sorry, that was cataloging and grouped works. And then I also added this time this group we've talked about, but I'd never kind of put the details in here. But we have the grouped works working group. And this is a self-organized group. And if you're interested in what they are doing, there is a Slack channel that you can join and ask for the details on joining meetings. So just a reminder that we have those meetings and come, they're super fun. The Carl X one yesterday, I think we were all laughing and having a good time. So yeah, that's it.
All right, thanks, Jordan. All right, and next on the agenda is the lovely Elise for outreach.
Hello, everybody. So actually right now, Adam is in Kansas and Bill is in New York. If any of your staff are at the Kansas Library Association or New York Library Association conferences, tell them to go by our booth. Adam, I heard, is giving away some Aspen t-shirts. So if there's anybody there. And then next week in Houston, if anybody is going to the Library Journal Directors Summit, this is one we're really excited to be a part of. Please go see us at that. We're stoked about that. And then some fun news, next year, 2024, March, Bywater will be celebrating 15 years in business. And so we want to get the community involved, and we are having a logo contest. So if you have a passion for graphic design or know anybody at your library that has a passion for graphic design, please have them submit a logo. They can do it through the Google form in that link or just email outreach@bywatersolutions.com. But there will be a prize. It's $100 to our Threadless store to buy some awesome Bywater swag. So please enter. We would love for your participation. And then, of course, as always, I do this every month, but the Bywater Community Give Back, we give $500 away each month to a partner library, and those funds can be used towards outreach, programming, collections, whatever. So please apply if you're interested. And that's all from me. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks, Elise. It means we're in open time, everybody's favorite silence gap. I still don't have music to play, but if you have anything to say or you want to discuss, yeah, please do it now. You are free to talk about literally anything Aspen related. Go for it. We do need music really bad. Bill's not here, of course, but I think we can call it if nobody has anything else they want to discuss today. Are we all ready? All right, we could go. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.